Hey everybody, Metal Shop Steve here. Another album review. This is another band that I just happened to stumble across as I was making my way through my usual exploration into YouTube and all the rock that is out there. Today the band is the End of Melancholy, and they're a Russian band, at least based in Russia anyway. The new album is Paradox Intention, and I came across a video, I heard it, I loved it, I listened to the album, I loved it even more. So we're going to talk about it a little bit here. First of all, a little bit about the band. They are fronted by Ollie Lex. That's their lead singer. They are a female-fronted band. Vocally, she is very strong. She has those nice soaring vocals, but when she needs to, she adds a little bit of that grit in there, just when she needs it. She doesn't overdo it, does it pretty well, picking and choosing her spots. In terms of the rest of the band, Peter on guitar, Roman on bass, Eugene on drums. That is the lineup there. Instrumentally, it kind of has a low, dark, almost down-tuned sound, very hammering, very relentless type of sound when it's all put together. The guitars kind of have this low buzziness to them. And some good riffs in there. You know I like that. So first of all, I guess we're just going to, there's actually an album that Paradox Intention is the album. We're going to talk about that. And then there's also a new single out as well that I will talk about too. So first of all, just as I usually do, I'm going to go down mostly track by track and tell you what I think here. So we begin the album with Peaceful Warrior, and kind of this beautiful, airy vocal to start out this song over this almost kind of industrial metal sound there. Maybe industrial is not the right word, but maybe it is, if that makes sense. So there's that. And then she just adds these absolutely crushing screams in here to kind of balance out that sweet, beautiful vocal in there. Another track on here, that's followed by Genesis. It's a rocker, not much else to say about that. Next up, You Never. That's kind of a low-key start to this song as well. It's got this kind of drum, very, very low-key vocal to start things out. Some gravelly singing in this one. This is where she changes up her tone a little bit. I like that. Turns it into something a little bit more textured than maybe it would have been on its own. You follow that up with Nightmares Are Forever. And this one, again, has a nice clean intro. It builds into a scream, these soaring vocals. There's kind of an interesting guitar solo. And I say solo, not really in the traditional sense, but certainly some solo-esque guitar work in there that I really like. Halfway through the album, the song "The Demon," and that's actually the next couple of songs in a row are my favorite songs on the album, but I would say "The Demon" is probably my favorite. There's kind of this electronic industrial vibe to the whole thing. Very, very, very strong vocals in this one. Strength, just the voice is so strong, and I think that's what helps drive this song up into my top. It's got this wall of sound almost, and it reminds me the most of maybe early Guano Apes kind of stuff, even vocally a little bit similar to what Sandra Nasik can do vocally. After that, Paradox Intention, the title track, another one of my favorite songs on this album. Nice screams to start this song out, and it just builds from there. Again, power vocals, power vocals here in this track. There's a little bit of atmosphere, a little bit of pure metal sound here. It's a very well-rounded song, and that's why I like it so much. Again, I listen to so much rock, so much metal these days that I really need a band to do something a little bit different to stand out to me so they don't just blend into all the stuff I hear. And I think there's enough variety here, enough of this band, the End of Melancholy, doing things really well in a couple of different avenues that keeps it interesting to me. Again, right after that is the song called Red Lights. And again, just kind of these three in a row, just really, really great power to these songs. Vocally, instrumentally, the whole track, just power, 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 power. And I like that a lot. So those three tracks right in a row are my favorite songs on the album. Finally, and this is only an 8-song album, the last song on here, Internally Eternal. Certainly the most vulnerable song on this album. It's kind of emotionally vulnerable, yet it has these great soaring vocals, soaring instrumental qualities about it. It really takes off. It's not a quiet song, but again, it's kind of the most personal feeling song on this album. So that's it, the 8-song album, Paradox and Tension, The End of Melancholy. One more thing to talk about here, and I believe this may be a new single that I saw out there, Monsters Feeling. And this one on its own, it's ferocious, it's fierce, it's growling, it's power and screaming vocals, probably the strongest vocals of any of the stuff that I've heard from them, just because there are all of these other really strong elements to it. I mean, kind of a little bit of everything is in there vocally from a modern female metal singer, or even a modern metal singer to begin with. The growling, the screaming, power, the soaring vocals, that vocal range that comes in to add melody to everything. So that's what that song's all about. Another great song. Overall, just judging from what I've heard here, these 9 songs by this band, I'm going to keep my eye on this band for what they do in the future. I really like their sound. I think that they fit in well in that pack of other bands that kind of meet this criteria, have similar sounds out there, but they do enough to stand out and make me pay attention to them in this way. So again, The End of Melancholy, and the album is Paradox and Tension. Monsters Feeling is another single out there. So please check them out. I will leave the links down below so you can do so. And as always, thank you for coming by.